Welcome everybody to the Magic Beans podcast. We are back again for your listening pleasure with episode number 23. I'm your host and my name is Shorty, and I'm joined by a few beans tonight. I have on the line with me Chewy. How you going, Chew?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Doing all right. We also have Cracker. How you going, Cracker?
Good, thanks, mate.
Very good. And we have a new bean on the cast tonight that we've mentioned a few times, but he's finally making his debut, and that is Stu. How you going, Stu?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
A new bean is green bean, right? 1 minit in and I've got to
an opportunity there, Stu.
Yeah.
Well, Stu, I'm glad you came on the podcast. I'm sorry you're leaving already, but...
No,
very glad to have you here, Stu. You're sort of jumping into the very large shoes that need to be filled for our noob on the cast. As most of our listeners would notice, Scott, the Blaster Boy, has not been with us for a few weeks. He's been having some situations with his family that he's been dealing with, so he's just taking a little bit of a step back from the cast. So we wish him all the best, and we're definitely keeping in touch with him, and he will be back on the cast at some point. But we thought, seeing as Chewy, Cracker, and myself are just such experts at Magic and, high-level play and all that sort of stuff, we needed someone just to sort of, take it down a little bit and sort of keep it real for the people out there. Is that about right, fellas?
It's all about flattening the curve these days.
I think the truth is that Stewie's actually bringing up the average on this cast at the moment.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no,
I'll do my best.
All right, so Stu, as we've done with all the rest of us when we've been on here for the first time, we want to know a little bit about you. So do you want to give us a quick rundown on, how long you've been playing Magic for and, what you love about the game that we all clearly love?
Yeah, well, been 11 years since I first got into Magic, which was at an event that Chewy put on, actually.
That wasn't 11 years ago, was it?
That was 11 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, that was when M10 was current, and I scored a mono green intro deck with Colonian Behemoth, I think it is.
Okay.
And I thought that was the
sounds
coolest.
like an all-star, that card.
I thought it was
like
the
a mono
coolest
green
card
card
that ever existed. And obviously I'd never played Magic before, and now I realise how bad it is. But at the time, I thought it was amazing, and it was foil and shiny. But so that was 11 years ago, and then sort of messed around for a couple of years, bought a lot of cards, as everybody does. And then kids happened, and Magic got put by the wayside for a time. And then, a couple of years ago, with you guys getting right into it, I just got back into it again with Guilds of Ravnica and been playing ever since.
So,
nice.
So that event, which I'm struggling to come to terms with it being that long ago.
Yeah.
So that was, I organised like a bit of a community event with a bunch of us when Metagames was around. So shout out to Isaac and Chris. And they provided a bunch of intro packs, and I built a bunch of decks out of commons and uncommons, similar to what we did over Christmas with the kids. And we had a bit of a nerd night. There were introductions to some roleplay games and some Magic going on. And there's a couple that we're friends with, Liz and Joel. They still have their decks from that day that sits on their board game shelf, and they still periodically bust it out and play. So awesome that something from so long ago is still getting a run. Shows you how good Magic is.
Yes.
So, but speaking of couples playing Magic, Stu, one of the things that you've got absolutely going for you in your Magic life is that your amazing wife Jack plays as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's surprising. I guess I never would have expected my wife to be into a game like this. But I think any opportunity she gets to beat me at something,
hang on,
she'll just take it. Yeah. Did I pause at the wrong spot?
In general?
But no, look, we often sit down, and at the moment I don't have a lot of sort of decks available, so we tend to play Commander 1v1, which is not always the best for two players, but we have a lot of fun, and she plays dragons and lays the beat down with them. But it's great.
Yeah, nice. So you're in the same boat as most of the rest of us on this cast, married with a few kids, or a boatload of kids in your...
Yes. Oh, I've got one more than you.
It's like... it's compounding as you have more kids. It's not just a little bit of extra work, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But the great thing about this game... Oh, sorry.
Is this turning into a podcast about diminishing returns, or...
Yeah.
But no, the thing about Magic as well is I've been able to sit down with my young kids. You know, I've got my oldest is my stepson. He's 15, but I've been playing Magic with him for the last, 10 years.
He's definitely smashed us in a few Commander games over the years.
And he has a glorious mullet.
He does have a glorious mullet, which he's still able to get to the hairdressers and fix up, so that's good.
I mean, how could you tell? You could just hit him with a whippersnipper and he'd look the same, man.
I love your jive,
buddy. That is just terrible.
I was going to send you this podcast.
Yeah, please come play with us again when we're allowed.
What about tournaments and things, Stu? Have you dipped your toe into the competitive scene with a pre-release or any events over the journey?
So I've been to 2 pre-releases or 3. I went to the Guild of Ravnica one, which was amazing because I'd only just got back into the game. And
that was heaps of fun. That was in Geelong, right?
That was down in Geelong, the Guff game. Guff?
Yeah, Guff.
Guff. So that was really good. I got a win and a couple of losses, but I had a good time, even though it was a midnight pre-release. I'm so glad they've given us 7 o'clock ones now. And the most recent one at Theros, which was a lot of fun.
Excellent. And you played some Pioneer at the Bushfire event. You had was that your first constructed event?
Yes, that was. So I took in a mono black aggro deck, courtesy of Chris, member of the podcast. The night before, there was a few of us at his house just rummaging through every single set of cards he's got to build decks.
Which is a lot.
That would have taken a while.
Built mono black aggro from scratch, had never played it, and then took it to an event the following day.
Just the way we like it.
Yeah, that's the way all of us do it, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
No, that's how Shorty does it. I tend to settle on a deck and then learn it and test it and understand the play patterns and all that.
That's not how you do it.
No. If you're not rocking up and going, Chris, can I have all the cards I'm borrowing from you, and get handed 50, then you're doing it wrong, right?
Yeah, why don't we do well at events? Yeah, I think I can't put my finger on it.
You're pretty regular on Arena too, aren't you, Stu?
Yes, probably more so in the last month or so than I had been before. Sort of took a bit of a break from it, playing other games, which I won't talk about. So been playing in the Arena League through the Magic Beans Discord, and not having a great time in that, to be honest. But at the same time, been playing games against, with some new guys and getting in the chat and having a chat with some new fellas, and it's really cool. I think it's a really good event that's generated a lot of interest.
Yeah, good. Well, speaking of events, Stu, you're just leading us straight into these segues already. You're a natural.
Yeah, excellent.
Well done, mate. I'm proud of you.
I'd actually just like to skip this whole next section, to be honest with you.
No. Aren't you running this section, Joel? Yeah.
I'm running it, and so that's it. Good chat, fellas. On Saturday, poor Joel. On Saturday, I was at my in-laws, and my phone was blowing up with all these chats of this challenge. I thought you guys were just mistyping left, right, and centre here, but at very short notice, because of the coronavirus, the event that some of the guys here were going to go to, Chris and Shorty, were heading into a WPNQ, which got cancelled. So Shorty was like, "Hey, let's run a double elimination for Arena over the weekend." So, how'd it go, boys?
Yeah, it was good fun. We sort of thought, well, we've already dedicated a Saturday to playing Magic, and thanks to the old Corona, that was shut down. So we thought, well, why don't we just run our own event? And as Cracker said, there's an online tournament system called Challenge, which is just looks like you're misspelling something, but It's we hosted an event on there and got a few guys on there playing, and basically just played a little mini tournament on the day. So
and we got prizes. We got sponsored.
Because
we forgot our sponsorship the last couple of weeks, actually, right? But we've got a sponsor with the mtgcardsales.com.au local guy. He's a champion, and he offered us some cash prizes for the store.
Yeah, it was.
I played in the event. Chewy, you played in the event.
Yeah, I did. Yep.
I was present in the event.
So we set it up as a double elimination bracket, which if you've watched any of the arena events, the Mythic Invitationals and those sorts of things, you'd probably be all over how that works now. But basically you have two losses.
Still have no idea what was going on.
Yeah, you can have up to 2 losses effectively. If you continue winning right from the start, you get basically straight all the way through into the finals. But once you take a loss, you get relegated into the losers bracket. Once you have your second loss in the losers bracket, you're then out of the tournament. So yeah, we played. I think Chewy, you and I, did we play? Was it round 1 that we played?
It was early on.
Yeah.
Isn't it always round 1 that you guys play?
Generally, yeah. Oh no, I played against I've played against Stu's brother in round 1, and I think I played you round 2. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good fun. I did okay. I think I got a few wins and did all right. But,
what deck did you play?
I played Teamer. So I got a list from Crokies, who's a very famous streamer. I think he's Irish or something like that. But
he's Scottish.
Okay, Scottish. Sorry if I'm just offended.
Just offended 2 countries.
It's fine. Like, they share the mutual hatred for the English, so as long as you don't call him that, it's all right.
Yeah, he's definitely not English. I know
he's definitely not English.
Yeah, but yeah,
what are their thoughts on Welsh people?
Let's just not go there. Let's move on. We'll edit that part out. It's fine. But he puts out some good lists. If you're on Twitter, definitely follow him. It's KROKEYZ or Z. As we say here in Australia. And yeah, he puts out a lot of good deck lists and plays a lot of Magic. So yeah, he'd put out this Teamer list that's just Teamer good stuff, really. It's your Uros and Hydro Krasis and Bone Crusher Giants and Brazen Borrowers, that sort of thing. And yeah, a little bit of ramp, a little bit of expansion explosion just to finish the game off, and a random Ember Cleave just to equip to your Hydro Krasis. And yeah, good fun.
Yeah,
so I gave that a bit of a run, and yeah, deck went pretty good. Was pretty happy with it. Been playing it a bit on Arena this week, and yeah, it's not bad.
Nice.
But, Chewy, I think you did a little bit better than me.
Yeah, a little bit. I took down our match when we played, and the highlighting of the cards that you're hovering over was my undoing almost, where I was like, he's got an Ember Cleave in his deck, and like nearly lost my mind, and yeah, like how do I play around it? But I played a Bant mid-range list, a more board controlling version or variant. We didn't have any of the Green Cavalier, but had lots and lots of copies of Elspeth Conquers Death, and I streamed the event, which was cool. Check it out on Twitch. I think it's still up. I recorded it. It's on our YouTube channel as well. And I had a really epic finals against JayMudds, and I was lucky enough to take it down in really sweet best of 3 match at the end. So,
and you'd played JayMudds already in the tournament, hadn't you? He knocked you down to the losers bracket.
Yeah. I lost to him in the quarterfinals, and he was playing a 5-color Fires deck, which is really sweet. It's really cool.
Yes. I also lost to.
Yeah, we should get him to share the list, because it's really cool.
I've got his deck list already, so I'll put it up on Goldfish and put that link in the show notes. It's a very cool deck.
Yeah, I liked it.
He smushed me with it too in the Arena League.
Yeah, he pilots it really well, and he
does.
It's just got every good card in the format. So it's when you can activate all the modes on Kenrith, it's a bit scary. So, but yeah, I managed to get there, and I won the voucher, which was pretty cool. So I was pretty happy with that. So I thought getting a voucher for an event that your podcast is running isn't awesome, not a great look, So I put out a shout out on Twitter and Twitch and the Discord and all the rest of it, and shamelessly trying to plug the Twitch channel to get more followers. Said that if you come and give us a follow on Twitch, you'll go in the draw to win that $20 voucher. So we got 6 followers out of that, which is great.
Nice.
Yeah. So I rolled a d6 from the order that they that they joined
Very
us
nice.
in, and drum roll. We're going to put that in post editing, Shorty, because
Not doing that.
if Chris was here, we'd have a drummer anyway. So congratulations to Mrs. Land Drops, who I believe also gave us a follow.
That's a brilliant name.
Yeah, it's pretty good. She's also given us a follow on Twitter, so I'll ping her on Twitter to give her the details so she can jump onto mtgcardsales.com.au and
Get some lands.
Get some lands. Yeah, it's like a yeah. Sorry, how did I miss that? I'm so ashamed of myself for missing that. So, well, actually, I did a price search on the website, and you can get like a blood crypt for $20, right? So, free blood crypt or assassin's trophy or Kendrith. So, congrats to Mrs. Landrops for winning that, and thank you so much for following the Beans on Twitch. It's really good.
And if you don't already follow the Beans on Twitch and you're out there listening, then make sure you jump on there and do that. You'll see plenty of content from Chewy as he's streaming, and Stu, I believe you're starting to get into the streaming as well. Are you going to give that a crack?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got all the software set up, and I've done some test runs, and ready to go.
Very good. We'll look forward to it. One day when I actually get internet that's not snail's pace, and I might start doing that myself too.
Good luck, mate.
Yeah. So the reasoning sort of behind running this little tournament that we did on the weekend is, as we said, thanks to the coronavirus and everything that's going on in this crazy world at the moment, pretty much every paper event has been cancelled. So PTs, Magic Fests, everything, they're all been shut down. All our local stores, at least here in Australia, and I know definitely in the States as well, and it's probably the same all the way around the world. Local game stores have all been shut down, so there's nowhere to go and play Magic anymore. So we thought, well, we've got a little bit of a community that we're growing at the moment through our Discord, which if you're not on there, you should definitely be jumping on there. When the link will also be on the show notes, and is on our Twitter and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we thought, why not? We can do what we can for our community that we're growing and run a few events. So we're doing a test run this Friday, so it'll probably be, this podcast will likely come out on the Friday morning, so if you listen to it on the day, you might be able to jump in, but just starting off with a little test Friday Night Magic type event, and if that all runs well, then we'll make this a regular thing. So we'll try and at least one night per week run some small events, just sort of Swiss pairings and that sort of thing, that will be coordinated through our Discord, and we will be having prizes, whether it's gift vouchers or boosters or whatever we decide to do, but there should be prizes for those events. And then, maybe once a month or whenever we can, we'll also organise some bigger events for the weekend. So keep an eye out for those. They're really good fun, and like the guys said, jumping in Discord and having a chat to everybody about your matches, and I know Chewy with streaming, you had a few people sort of jumping in, having a chat to you while you were playing, and a few people spectating. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to remain a part of the Magic community while we're all self-isolating and social distancing, which is a term that I don't think existed up until 2 weeks ago.
It's physical distancing.
Yeah, so they're trying to get rid of that social distancing.
Yeah, they've realised that it actually just made people depressed because they
Who
don't
knew,
have
right?
social circles.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't think changing the words is going to do much to stop people.
Well, it's branding, Chew.
Yeah,
it's all branding.
It is. But I mean, on that note, if you're on our Discord and you are feeling it, ping one of us. Like, there'll be someone up for a game and a chat. Like, if you want to have someone to hang out with and not feel completely isolated, then there'll be somebody on the Discord that's up for a game of Magic and to jump into the one of the voice channels and have a chat while you're slinging some spells. So it's a good little way to get that little bit of social interaction whilst we're all in our own homes.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Always up for a game, always up for a chat if my internet allows it.
And, you'll generally beat us, so you also get that, little endorphin
you get
rush as well.
Nice little boost of rolling us.
Yeah.
If you play me, you'll always beat me.
So, we weren't the only ones that obviously had this idea to be running our events online. It sort of started picking up over the last few weeks with a few other, I guess, teams and shows and podcasts and things like that doing it as well. So I think we mentioned on the previous cast that the Lotus Box team, they were running a charity event, and there's been a few others. But now Channel Fireball's actually put their Magic Fests online. So as I mentioned, we did have the Magic Fests. We'd sort of spoken about them on previous episodes that were coming up in the States and in various other parts around the world. They've all been cancelled. So Channel Fireball, and obviously in conjunction with Wizards, have put together a Magic Fest online series. So have you guys seen what's going on with these? I don't know if you've seen people streaming them or been keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, I've seen little bits and pieces here and there. I think it's sweet. So
yeah, it's a pretty cool idea.
It's really good because, clearly this is a thing that people are heavily invested in and pretty disappointed about. And if this isn't all gone by October when the Magic Fest is supposed to be in Sydney, I'm going to be livid.
Yeah.
So, they're sort of like, 6-round tournaments or?
Yeah, 6 rounds. So
they're running 6 rounds total?
Yeah, they're running qualifiers every day. They started on the 23rd of March, so a few days ago now, and they're running right up until the 4th of April. And they have 4 per day at 6-hour intervals. So effectively, they're running 24/7, and so whatever time zone you're in, you can find one of these events to jump in on. I think they're like 3 a.m., 9 a.m., whatever it works out from there, every 6 hours. Yeah, 3 p.m., 9 p.m., that's it.
I plan on playing a couple of these next week. I'm actually on annual leave. So I'm at home with a 5-year-old, so we'll see how we go. But I'll be playing a couple of them, and I'll probably stream them as well.
And
cool.
CFB has been commentating a bunch of these as well, haven't they?
Yeah. So they're running a 24/7 stream, and I watched a little bit of this yesterday, and they're encouraging everyone who's playing in these events to stream them, and then they've got a couple of commentators that they've organised that are on rotating schedule, that sort of stuff, and they're just picking up other people's streams and then just commentating over the top of them, and it's literally running 24/7. So at any point of the day, you can jump on, the CFB stream will be going, and there'll be Magic getting played. So yeah, if you are stuck at home isolated, there's something to watch. We were complaining on the last episode that there wasn't going to be tournaments to watch, and
we were missing coverage,
they've
right?
delivered.
And as much as I have bemoaned it in the past, I do enjoy watching event coverage on Arena rather than paper, because there's just sort of less dead time. So it should be pretty entertaining to watch.
Yep. So these qualifying events are $25 a pop. That's 25 US. So that's like 500 Australian, I think, at the moment.
Yes.
About close to $40
per event.
Yeah.
So that's per flight. So if there's 4 per day, you could realistically play every one and pay $100 US per day to try and qualify for these events. So
did you just challenge me to do a 24-hour stream?
Sure. Yes, that's exactly what I did.
I'm not doing it. No.
If you're in that situation where you're considering doing that, I would suggest don't. That's a lot of money to spend for probably not that much return.
Also, you're unlikely to play well after like 18 hours of Magic.
Yep. So
18 minutes, maybe.
Playing an event per day is probably okay, but I wouldn't be pushing yourself too much more than that. But yeah, there are six round events. You sign up, you turn up at the time that it says, and you get your pairings. And yeah, away you go, start playing. If you get a record of 5-1 or better, so if you either go 5-1 or 6-0, then you qualify for the weekly championship, which is a 2-day event that's held on the next couple of weekends. And yeah, that weekly championship has a 25 grand prize pool, so that's actually not too bad. With 8 Pro Tour invites or Players Tour invites to go along with that. So, not bad. I think myself, I'll probably give at least one of these a go. Probably just one. And
tell me the one that you're playing in so we don't get paired round one, please.
I think I'll give them a miss.
Well, it's the sort of thing where
I'm throwing away my money.
Yeah, you pay $40, and if you lose your first 2 rounds, that's it. You're done. You don't get to play the rest of your rounds. You're out of it. So you kind of need to be pretty sure that you're okay. And I mean, that's not that much different to playing normal tournaments, but yeah, you need to be pretty sure that you're willing to part with that money and be fine with losing it. And if you happen to spike it and you get a good run, then yeah, good on you. You get into the weekly championship.
It's a really great idea.
Yeah, awesome. And then that weekly championship will then feed into the top 32 from those weeklies will go into a season finals. And then, yeah, that season finals has $50,000 prize pool, so an even bigger prize pool with even more players tour invites. So, yeah, head over to cfbevents.com to sign up for that one and give it a crack if you're keen. And if you are in our Discord or you are a listener, then let us know how you go and let us know when you're playing, and feel free to hit us up to get deck ideas and feedback and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, great initiative. I really like it. It's a chance to, play as much Magic as possible.
And another thing that got announced, I think it got announced yesterday, that CFB put out, which I believe is completely off their own back. I don't think it has anything to do with Wizards, but they announced that they were giving out what they're calling affiliate codes to local game stores. So any local game store, I believe, could contact Channel Fireball and become an affiliate with them, and they would give them a code. And what that code is used for is when you register for your weekly qualifier or your daily qualifier, it will ask you if you have a code for a local game store. If you enter the code from your local game store, then they actually get a percentage of of your entry fee sent to them in cash. So as we know, with all stores being shut down, a lot of people are going to be really struggling financially, and with local game stores not being able to sell anything, that it's going to be pretty big for them to have this little bit of an income stream coming in from these events. So definitely get in contact with your local game store to find out if they have one of these codes, and if they don't, get them onto it.
So I saw LSV talking about that today, because I may have had his stream on
when you were working.
And exactly.
All these people who are trying to work from home and their internet keeps crashing, it's because Cracker's streaming.
Hey man, there's LSV on Vintage Cube. What did you want?
Hey,
he was saying that it's only North America at the moment. They don't have the affiliate program set up for anywhere else, and they are slowly expanding it and looking to kind of grow it out to as many different places as they can. So unfortunately, not going to be any good for the people that are running stores in our neck of the woods. But look, as Shorty was saying, like, good on CFB for coming up with this, because they're the only ones at the moment who are, apart from Wizards, going to be getting any income directly from this situation that we're in. So it's awesome that they've decided to sort of take this step and realise that we don't attend events that they run if we don't have our own LGSs. So it's the whole kind of rising tide thing. They've got to keep everyone floating so that we can all come out of this stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. And then not long after the CFB event was announced, Wizards actually came out and announced an event that they'll be running. So they're going to be holding their own FNMs or Friday Night Magics on Arena. Chewy, you got a few details on that one?
Yeah, I've had a bit of a read through the announcement. It's actually a little bit different. It's not just, play the deck that you've been grinding on ladder and show up and play like the Magic Fest. It's a little bit more fun, and I think it's aimed at the more casual player. So Stu, this one might be in your wheelhouse. They are free to play, so
you had me at free.
Yep, exactly. So they are a March 27th, April 3rd, and April 10th, and they're all 3 different formats. So on the March 27th, which is probably the evening of this cast going up, is a challenger deck. So you pick which of the challenger decks that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, and you play play an F&M with that. So I'm assuming it's 3 rounds. It doesn't actually say on the announcement that I can see how many rounds each of them are.
Wizards are lacking information in their announcements.
No. Like, we're supporting Wizards here because they're doing stuff.
I think
for
it might
us.
actually just be one of those unlimited events. It's just
where you just play
join.
games.
It's free, and you just pick your challenger decks and you just play as much as you want.
And once you get a certain amount of wins, you get a prize, and then you can just keep playing like they did with the Worlds decks, right?
Yeah, that's that sort of thing.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
So March 27th, Challenger decks, which is pretty cool because they do look good. They look like actually great decks, so I like those. April 3 is something I'm pretty excited about. For anyone who's, missing rare wildcards, this is your chance. It's the All Access event where you build decks, build your deck out of any card in Standard, whether or not you have it in your collection. And
so they actually did a similar event when, was it Throne of Eldraine released?
Yeah, they did. Yep. Yeah, where you could play whatever deck you want.
It was awesome.
Oh, because that let you play all the Eldraine cards before you
Wasn't
actually had them,
the
right?
future Standard thing they ran where they kind of opened up everything and then cut off the last couple of sets to give people a taste of what was coming?
It was something like that.
Yeah.
It was very similar to this in that you could play with a lot of cards that you just didn't own.
Yeah, it's sweet. I remember messing around with the Jeskai Fires list way back then and thinking, wow, that's a lot of mythics and rares.
I remember playing with Oko
Okay.
for the first time.
So you can any card in Standard, assuming it's not banned, you'll be able to play in that event. So that sounds really cool. And on April 10 is Historic Brawl. So they're trying to pique some interest in that. You build a 60-card Brawl deck. So that will be 59 cards plus your commander. And, you battle out and, historic. So get to play with, Search Razcanta or, some of the other decks. So Stu, you could find a mono red legend and play some more Goblin Chainwheelers or something if you want to play.
There's a guy named Torbrand.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you heard of Torbrand?
Yeah. I'm sure there's a mono red commander out there that someone can figure out which one to play. Nothing's coming to mind right now. Yeah.
So hear me out. What about Embercleave as your commander?
Can you do that?
No. But it's
I was going to say, I think it has to be a legendary creature, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's a legendary equipment, right? Like, why not? That'd be really sweet, actually. Because, people do whatever they want with Commander. They'll let you do, with your play group, have other legends I've seen. So that'd be fun. Have, like, Bolas's Citadel or, the Great Henge or something as your commander. Yeah. No, not Jeets. No. I just meant from the recent cycle of, coloured. You'd have to be a colourless deck to make that work.
Yeah.
You've still got to.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your creatures are trash because you've got Jite. So yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
Jite's not on a
the Jite go.
Yeah. Well, maybe not that. But yeah. So that's. I think that's a really cool way to play some fun formats on Arena on a Friday night. So
are they running for the weekend or are they just on the Friday?
They run till midnight, I believe. Thursday at midnight to Friday at midnight, I think. Yeah. So
yes.
all day Friday.
So for 24 hours they're running.
Yeah.
Midnight to midnight.
Okay. That's cool. Gives us a chance to actually play it because if it was just Friday night US time,
that'll
that would be
like Saturday for us in Australia.
Which is actually perfect. So
it's great.
So I'm looking forward to that, and there'll be. I'm sure there'll be. F&M, you'd get, your F&M promo, your foils or whatever. I'm sure there'll be like some card styles or something that they'll give away as prizes after you get, X amount of wins as well. So free to play and you get some cool stuff. So sounds like an awesome thing to do on a Saturday morning our time or for a Friday night in the US time zone. So fantastic.
The other thing they're doing with that as well to sort of help support your local game store is they've been giving, like directly from Wizards, similar to what Channel Fireball's been doing, but they've been giving codes to reward codes to local game stores. So if you take a screenshot of yourself playing that event and send that to your local game store, they should be able to send you a reward code for some special sleeves, which is not the most exciting reward for me personally, but it's just something to get you keeping in contact with your local game store and letting them know that you're playing. And just another support thing, I guess.
If those special sleeves were dark blue KMCs, Shorty, would you?
Oh, they look so good on Arena.
Yeah.
All the fancy things you could have, and you've just got matte
finish
blue.
on those bad boys.
For anyone not getting the inside joke, Shorty just buys in bulk, like dark blue KMC. So if he has to transfer cards between decks, he doesn't have to de-sleeve them, and every single one of his decks looks exactly the same. And if he busts a sleeve, it makes sense, but
including my pauper cube. That's also the same.
Say, even your pauper cube.
Yeah, it just lacks a little flair. It's a very practical approach. I understand that, but
I'm a very practical person.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it coming through. So we spoke about getting that code and heading into our local game store. Whilst we're in our local game store, what else might we find on the shelf or behind the counter under lock and key when we head in there?
Closed doors, I believe. I'm so sorry. Sorry. It was right there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. So, well, I mean, any local game store that's able to open for any sort of retail activity, probably not holding tournaments, well, unable to hold tournaments, but are still open to buy cards and board games to play with your family. So please do support them.
Yeah, I believe there's a few stores, and I know, Chewy, you've been in contact with Andy from Next Level Game Ringwood, who we've dealt with plenty of times and known for a long time, and they're doing board game deliveries, Magic deliveries, that sort of stuff. I've seen on Facebook plenty of other local stores in our areas doing drive-by pickups, so you can place your order online or over the phone, and then they'll have it all ready for you and come out in a hazmat suit and give it to you in your car or something like that. But yeah, there's still plenty of ways that you can support your local game store, and I would definitely get in contact with them and see how you can show your support and throw a little bit of love their way. One thing I actually heard today on another podcast that they were suggesting is, if you have a local game store that you play at all the time, it's not a bad idea. Eventually, obviously, they're going to reopen and you're going to go back to playing there. It's probably not a bad idea to get in contact with them and just say, look, can I purchase $50 of store credit? And they can do the transaction over the phone and put your $50 store credit into the system, so then they've got a bit of money in their account, and then when you're in there the next time, you've already sort of prepaid for your event. So yeah, there's a few things like that we sort of need to think about, and ways we can still get some stuff done in this world of social distancing. Any other ideas any of you guys got for things and ways people can sort of keep in touch with Magic at the moment?
Yeah. So a lot of people, and like us included, we've all got commander decks and things, but we have no way of playing them on like Magic Online. Like, I'm not going to go set up and buy all the cards on Magic Online and try and play like that. So there are a lot of people, and there's some really good tutorials on how to play over Skype or Discord and like share the screen. So basically you just stream your playmat and then you can just play with people like that. So not for everybody, but if that's kind of your jam and you're unable to kind of get together with your, 3 other mates because you've got to sit, 2 meters away from each other, then it's it's an option to kind of give you access to it.
Have you seen that that clip that came? It was probably on TikTok, but I saw it on another platform where there's 2 Magic players sitting across the room from one another, and they're posting notes to each other via the mail with what their move is. And like one guy went to cast a spell or whatever it was, and the other guy came back with he opened the letter and it says in response, and it's got a force of will in a top loader stuck to the piece of paper.
Nice. I haven't seen that.
Awesome.
That's great.
Yeah,
Gold.
I'll look it up and I'll share it on Twitter. I think it's quite good. So, I did get a chuckle over that.
Yeah.
I
have seen a few people doing that streaming their actual physical cards. And I know we sort of talked about it in the past, doing that with practicing Modern and Pioneer and things like that. I don't think we ever actually got around to it, but it's not that hard to set up these days with Skype and smartphones and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, give it a crack. And like Cracker said, there's definitely tutorials for it online, or head to Twitter and you'll find someone else's setup.
We should set it up and stream it on the Magic Beans Twitch.
Yeah, we could do that. Which leads me...
Sounds like you're volunteering for that, Stu. Well done. Welcome to the podcast.
Good work, mate.
I love work.
For myself, I've been just consciously trying to get more content out there. So even though, I've been performing rather subpar in Vintage Cube this time around, I streamed 2 drafts the other night, did a Theros draft, streamed the Magic event. So, and if you're in the Discord, you're always welcome to jump onto the channel and have a chat. And as well as just, feel free to just watch it, and just more Magic content. So people can just kind of get, if you can't get to the events, that are running through Arena, or, you can't tee up a Skype match or what have you, then, there's hopefully going to be enough Magic out there for you to consume to get your fix. So, we can, and, running our league, etc., out there is really good. So the Beans will have, events regularly, as we spoke about. Our league is, sort of coming to a close. We'll probably, do one, again, once we've got that
definitely
figured it out. Yeah. So, Shorty, you're organising all that, so I'll just join them when you arrange them.
We've got some bad news to share, though, fellas, because last week when or 2 weeks ago when we spoke, I was, in fact, crushing all foes before me, and then the expected fall has, in fact, arrived, and I don't know if I've won a match since then.
So what have you been running, Cracker?
I have been still on this green-white auras nonsense.
That's the only deck you can play on Arena, isn't
Basically, yeah. No, I've got a couple others, but that's the only one that's... Well, I built it because I thought, it's fun and it's different. It's not like a meta deck or anything like that, so it can steal games and it gives people...
completely crushed me.
He beat me with it convincingly. And that was running mono red.
That was a couple of weeks ago, and unfortunately, last night I played a couple of games, and I played against Child Rebel Walker, who was playing a Fires list. And game 1, I was doing quite well, and I was getting ready to just kind of take things over, and he had Heliod's Intervention in the main. I didn't even know that card existed, and then he's just like...
Do you think maybe he meted against you?
No, he said he's playing like Marcio's list, and he sent me like the link to like the the list and the sideboard guide and stuff. He's like, there's no notes in here about how to beat your deck. And I'm like, yeah, no kidding. But I was just like, what a blowout. Like, that was just gross. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, just destroyed my 2 auras, and my hexproof druid was back to like a 2-1 or something useless, and I lost horribly from there. But
pretty good in a Cloverfield metagame.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so if you haven't listened to the last couple episodes, we have been running a league again through our Discord. Another reason to jump in there and join us and get in on the conveation. But
it's where all the cool kids are at.
That's right, yes, because we are
us.
So cool. Actually, that reminds me, it was Scott the Blaster Boy's birthday last week, so shout out to Scott, happy birthday for last week. We're not going to mention how old you are on this podcast.
He's not a kid. He's not a kid, let's just say that.
He's not a boy.
He's old enough to get a tattoo, I saw on Twitter
as well. He did, yeah, he got a very cool, what's her name?
Harley Quinn.
Tattoo, yeah.
Yeah, anyway. Happy birthday, Scott. Happy birthday. Hope you got Chandra's.
Yeah, so we've had this league running for a few weeks now, and we're aiming to wrap it up in the next week or so. But yeah, it's been going very well. We ended up with 14 participants, and everyone's playing for a cut of a Throne of Eldraine booster box that was donated by our good mate Matt. And so shout out to him. But yeah, we've been, the last week especially, I think, with everyone sort of being home and not getting out on the weekends, they've had plenty of time on their hands. So last weekend there was a ton of matches getting played. We're now up to, I think on the previous cast we'd had 16 matches played. So 2 weeks ago we've now had 52 matches played.
Look at that exponential growth.
It's jumped up a lot. And yeah, currently myself, Benny R and Child Rebel Walker, we're all sitting on top of the ladder with 7 wins, which is not bad, but I have completed all of my matches. So I've played 13 matches, so my record is 7-6, which is very much a standard record for me.
I still think you should be on 8 wins, Shorty.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. My match against Stu, I timed out, which was fantastic, but anyway.
Clock management's part of it, man.
That's right.
I mean, I'll take it, don't get me wrong, but it does feel a little cheap.
No, it's a win is a win, so that's the way it gets recorded. But yeah, I believe...
It's not how, it's how many.
Yes.
Yes.
I believe... so Benny R and Child Rebel Walker are all... They're both on 9 or 10, I believe, matches. I don't actually have the sheet in front of me at the moment. So they've still got plenty of room to overtake me on the ladder. And then there's also a few people just below me. So Chewy and Cracker, you're just below us. And then a few people sort of just below there. So there's plenty of matches still left to be played in this next week that will definitely topple me off the top of the ladder, that's for sure. With people aiming to get into the top 4. So if you're listening to this and you still want to get into it, you probably could if you wanted to. Jump in and let us know. You're going to have to organise your matches pretty quickly. It is round robin, so you just need to jump in and organise a match with every person. But yeah, there's plenty of room for people to make their way up to the top of the ladder and get into the top 4 for those booster prizes. So it's been good fun.
Good news. I haven't faced Benny R yet, so mate, if you want to metagame real hard against Green White Auras for that free win, you know what you're in for. We'll topple Shorty.
I did see that Benny R just made it to Mythic, so I'm pretty sure he'll make
a very good player.
Short work.
Yeah, and Child Rebel Walker's been up in Mythic as well. Top 1200. He was playing in the Arena Challenge event or whatever it was last time.
I've teed up my match with Rebel Walker on Saturday morning, so he'll get the win there as well, no doubt. So I've decided to have a bit of fun with this. I'm recording all of the matches that I play, and I've got the first lot up on the YouTube channel already. If you have already played me and you want to check that out, jump on and have a look. It's a bit entertaining to watch your match back. But I've been sort of cycling through some decks, just sort of playing a different deck in each round now. I won't play, a unique deck in every round, but every single round I play will be different from the round I played, from the deck I played the round before. So having a bit of fun. So you don't know what you're going to face against me. And I'll, some of the decks I've played have been really good. Some of them, I've got no idea what I'm supposed to be doing, and some other decks clearly need some work, but having some fun. So get on, jump in the voice channel, have a chat, and pick up your free win from playing against me.
And shout out to Q, who's a fairly new player, but he's been getting involved and getting his matches done, and unfortunately he's not managed to record a win yet. I believe he's played 7 rounds with no wins, but I'm sure you'll get there, Q. I believe in you. And
don't worry, Q. That'll change when you face me.
Surely. So if we're divvying up the booster box amongst the top, now given that we're Australian and our sort of national game, you get a point if you miss, which is an Australian Football League reference. People, for anyone listening internationally, look it up. But can we spare a booster for the person who comes last? Or
I'm sure
you want a wooden spoon.
Yeah, I'm sure we could find some sort of prize for a wooden spoon. If someone does manage to get through the whole thing with 0 wins, then they definitely deserve a wooden spoon prize, and we'll find something.
You can have a
between
Daniel's donut.
Ooh, nice. Although you probably can't buy them at the moment, so
yeah, you probably can't. I'm sorry.
I think they're on Uber Eats, so it's okay. Yeah. They deliver. So. Yeah,
it's been good fun. I've been doing a similar thing to Chewy, where I haven't been cycling through all the time, but I've played like 3 or 4 different decks throughout my league, not really taking it super seriously and not specifically aiming to end up on top of the ladder. But yeah, it's been really good, and it's the sort of thing that we definitely will be running again. So we've spent most of this episode talking about how you can play Magic in the current climate and what's going on at the moment. So there's plenty of ways, and a lot of it comes down to jumping in our Discord. So make sure you're getting in there and joining in the events that we're running. If you're not playing Arena yet, you should be playing Arena, and with these events that are coming up, it's a very quick and easy way to get in and play a bunch of decks that you don't have to pay for. You don't have to put any money in. You can play whatever decks you want. So highly recommended at the moment. And get involved, stay involved in this great game that we all love. And come and have a chat with us on our Discord. So the last thing we wanted to touch on, which is actually paper Magic, which we haven't spent a lot of time talking about lately, but
apparently it's still going to be a thing.
Yeah, which is one thing we'll probably talk about it on the next podcast, but there's a set release coming out in less than a month, and it's going to be interesting what they do there. So we might leave that there, little primer for the next episode, but yeah, the way or what's going to happen with paper Magic over the next couple of months is going to be very interesting. But Wizards are still doing releases, and they announced, it would be nearly 2 weeks ago now that this came out, I believe it was sort of just after we recorded, Secret Lair, which is that fantastic thing that they've been putting out 1 million products of. What's it actually called?
Ultimate Edition.
Secret Lair Ultimate Edition.
This one is titled Making Fetch Happen, which is a...
Mean Girls reference.
Everyone loves Mean Girls.
Yeah,
yes.
I honestly thought it was called Secret Lair Fetches. Honestly, that's what I thought it was called.
That's what's in our show notes.
Well, that's what every single content creator has been referring to it as.
Yeah.
Like, that's the first time I've ever heard the actual name.
Yeah. So what is it, Cracker?
Well, so Secret Lair Fetches Ultimate Edition is 5 of the fetch lands. So it is the enemy fetches, so Marsh Flats, Scalding Tarn, Verdant Catacombs, Arid Mesa, and Misty Rainforest.
All the really expensive ones?
All the really expensive ones. Scalding Tarn, regularly up and over $100. Verdant Catacombs and Misty, not far behind, usually like $60, $80 each. So, yeah, expensive.
So these haven't been printed. They were printed in original Zendikar.
Yep.
And so that's what, like 7-8 years ago, something like that, maybe.
10 years ago.
Yeah, so a long time ago, and I haven't seen any reprints in any supplemental products at all, I believe.
That is correct.
Yep.
So the other fetches came out in the Khans block.
Yep.
Which was more recent, still probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But so anyway, the what they're doing is they're actually releasing the Ultimate Edition through stores. So
unfortunate timing for this announcement.
it's a bit like that. So there's been a lot of blowback on Wizards for them running Secret Lair, and the fact that they were effectively selling cards direct, which has always been the domain of local game stores. And so they kind of took that to heart to some degree, and said, we've got this super fancy, and like you should check it out. We'll put the link in the show notes. Thanks, Shorty. But, it's a giant box with, these 5 fetch lands in, a padded case, and it looks all very fancy and official. But ultimately, it is still
just... That's how everyone keeps their cards.
It is still just 5 normal
If you could
fetch
see
lands.
my desk right now, goodness me, there is cards everywhere.
The giant piles of them.
Yep.
So they're doing it, the Ultimate Edition, I believe, exclusively through the stores, and then they will, a week or two later, do the online release. So the way they've done all the Secret Lairs is there's a 24-hour window where you can buy as many as you want.
Yeah, they're an on-demand print.
They're basically effectively an unlimited print run is the way that they're kind of pitched. So if you wanted to go and buy 60 copies of Secret Lair, go nuts. Good luck. Also, I hope you've got some deep pockets, because the projected price for these ones are $165 US. Which is, I just checked it out, current exchange rate is 276 Australian dollars.
Which is likely to get worse.
Pass.
Which is for 5 cards.
But that's $50 each, right? So
yeah,
that's
it's actually good value, I believe.
It actually is cheap.
Yeah.
Cheap is the wrong word. It is in the current secondary market, it is quite good value. But yikes.
Are they foil?
No.
No.
They have new art.
Okay.
They do have new art.
And I believe that they've got like really popular artists to do them. Like there's a John Avon one. What's the other guy?
So they've all from different planes. So the Lorwyn Marsh Flats, Dominaria Scalding Tarn at Innistrad Verdant Catacombs,
cool.
and Amonkhet Arid Mesa, and then Ixalan Misty Rainforest. So if you look at like, there's the Avacyn Silver symbol in the Verdant Catacombs, and like they're very clearly of that plane. And yeah, they are, like a bunch of famous artists, and they've got, the magic symbol has been replaced with the shooting star thing, like the usual Judge promo kind of thing. So they look nice, but oof, it's a lot of money. And the thing that we've noticed with all of these Secret Lair drops is they actually don't affect the secondary price at all on all the other cards.
Yeah, they'll tend to dip a little bit and then basically go back to where they were.
Exactly right. So we're not going to see, because Scalding Tarn has now been reprinted in air quotes, they're not going to be a $30 fetch anymore. They'll be a $90 fetch for a week, and then they'll be a $100 fetch again after that. So it's good that they're doing this. I don't love that they've done it specifically with fetch lands. They're really just massively in demand for every format except for, Standard and Pioneer. Everyone else plays them all the time. Every Commander player wants all of them.
Well, they're the best meta fixer. Them in conjunction with the Jewels and Shocks. They're the best meta fixer that the game's ever produced. So, of course, you want them.
Yeah, for sure. And so it seems like it'd be nice if they put them in a supplementary product where they weren't $50 each.
Put them in a Commander set.
I mean, that would be amazing, but they won't.
No.
Anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, I think there was a fair bit of speculation that these would get printed in, like a Modern Horizons set or some sort of supplemental printing. Or people have been speculating for ages that they were going to get printed into a standard set coming up later this year. But I'm assuming, just based on this, that's not going to happen. I wouldn't have expected it to be printed in a standard set anyway, because they don't like fetches in standard.
They've flat out said that they won't put fetches in standard.
Yeah, and especially in current standard with Shocklands. Yeah. So that was not very likely to happen. But yeah, the fact that they're doing this printing and not putting it in a booster pack product is interesting. And I wonder, like, from a financial point of view for Wizards, obviously these Secret Lair products, which we haven't really talked about that much on this cast, they're literally Wizards selling directly and printing the money, because the money it's not going to a distributor and then to a local game store. It's going straight to them, and they must be making bucket loads of money from
millions and millions of dollars from this. Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're not printing. They're taking the orders. They open this window to purchase them for 24 hours. They sell them and then go, okay, we've got to print 1 million of these. All right, put in the order, print 1 million of them. Done. That's it. They're not printing any excess. So it's just all profit for them. I wonder financially if they make more money off of the fetches doing it this way than they do off of putting them in a booster pack product. And maybe that's why they've done it this way. Who knows?
Maybe, but think about it, right? Like I mean, this is obviously just a personal thing. There's no way I'm ponying up $275 to buy 5 fetch lands, right? Just not going to happen.
No.
I don't have that kind of disposable
income.
You
need play sets of fetches anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you do, right? But if they were going to put them in Zendikar, which is what a lot of people speculated, we've got Zendikar coming in third quarter of this year, and then the Jewel lands, the Shocklands would have rotated out, I believe. So I would certainly look at buying a lot more of that product, because then you get other product as well. Yeah. And like cracking packs is like the most fun. So like if we, bought a booster box or 2, then I would be more likely to spend equal to or more money in that kind of scenario, because they're not like, at least I end up with other things as well. So I don't know. They've clearly run the numbers or just gone, we can just do this and then do it again later, because like I said, everyone's going to want these for the rest of the time people are playing Magic.
I'm picturing the old El Paso, like the soft or hard tortilla thing with that little girl going, why not both?
Why not both?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, make a bunch of money off people buying them now, thinking they're not going to get reprinted, and then reprint them in 6 or 7 months' time and, make a bunch more money. So
just wait a year and do it again.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, who knows? I mean, that's at the end of the day, like, you know, people like to complain about Wizards trying to make money, but at the end of the day, they are a company that needs to make a profit. So if this is profitable for them and it means they get to put more money into Magic and come up with better products and run bigger events, then it's fine by me. I'm not going to buy this product, but somebody will. Probably
a lot of people will.
Somebody on this podcast that's occasionally on here.
And then we can just borrow them off him if we need them.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, you guys mostly have the fetches that you need for your modern decks. I know I don't have a full playset of all the fetches, but I've got most of them. Like, I've got a playset of Scalding Tarns and things like that, so I'm pretty right for my decks. But
I have a Highlander set of fetches. I don't own...
Got the one of each?
Yeah, I own 2 flooded strands because I have the Nationals version. That's the only reason I have 2. My cube / commander, and I haven't played a fetch land in Modern for a couple of years now, actually, between like KCI Affinity and Eldrazi-tron. So yeah, Expedition map, that's the fetch I need. So
I got a really nice Bloodstained Maya kicking around here somewhere.
Oh yeah, like a really nice Rob Alexander one. So yeah, I bet it's really good. No, I'll have that back, thanks.
Yeah, I mean,
if we're ever allowed to see each other again,
come get it.
What's the statute of limitations or whatever it is on possession, or it's like how long do you have to have something in possession before it becomes yours?
I mean, possession's 9/10 of the law, man.
Yeah. So frustrating because you're like
I'm much bigger than Chewy as well.
What do I do? I'm stuck. Yeah. If anyone wants to give me a Bloodstained
I will give it back, especially if it's going in the cube.
Yeah,
Speaking of cube, Vintage Cube is online at the moment. That's just like some of the most fun you can have in Magic.
Yeah, I might stream a bit of that over the next couple of days as well. It's on to the 1st of April, so get on. I just
that is something we didn't talk about. Magic Online is all that program still exists.
It's getting a lot of run at the moment.
It is.
How long has it been around? 20 years.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, if you're looking for another way to play, then you can jump on there. They run plenty of events on there, and they are running, I didn't actually put in our show notes, but they are running Super Series or something like that, I think they've called it on Magic Online, like larger events and things like that. So if you're in the Magic Online economy, then I'm sure you're aware of that sort of thing. If you're not, then probably don't bother and just stick with Arena. But yeah, no, just another way that you can get onto Magic in this current lockdown. So I think that's going to do us for tonight. We've hopefully given you plenty of ideas of how you can keep playing Magic at the moment. And good luck with all that. All of them
involve being in our Discord.
Yeah, most of them involve being in our Discord. So yeah, as always, you'll be able to find the link for that on our Twitter or in the show notes. So come and join us. We are slowly growing, and yeah, definitely keep an eye out for the events that we'll be running. It's an interesting world at the moment, and we hope that all of our listeners out there are taking the proper precautions and staying safe. Don't be stupid about it. There's no need to put yourself or your family or other people around you at risk. Just do what the government says, and it should all eventually shake out, and we'll be back to normal in no time. So that'll do us. I'll finish off with the usual how to get in contact with us. So you can flick us an email, magicbeanscast@gmail.com. Look us up on Twitter @magicbeanscast, or search us up on Facebook or YouTube, where Chewy will be putting a few more videos with all the time he's got on his hands at the moment. You'll find us on those. Just search for Magic Beans Cast or Magic Beans Podcast. If you want to find me on Twitter, I am @Peace Inc. Chewy, you are
@ChewyMTG.
Cracker
@JoelHill_.
And Stu, with your massive online presence, you are
@MStewie.
Well done. You had to look that up before the cast. We'll just shame you there with that one.
Thank you very much.
We've been really nice to you the whole cast, man.
Yeah,
if you come back again, don't expect this kind of treatment.
No, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
It's good to have you, man.
Yep.
Yeah, it has
been. Come and find us on Discord. Look for us in all those places. Take care of yourself, and thanks for listening. We will see you next time.